this one, and we have a picture-perfect day for football at Lumen Field in Seattle.
Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports.
They'll run. It's Kenneth Walker.
And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Well, this defense for the Commanders, they were terrific last week in the victory over Kansas City.
No matter what coverage was called, they were right in the hip pockets of the receivers all game long, step for step, running their routes with them. Turned out they were right there every time the ball was in the air, and they came away with 5 interceptions in that one.
Sticking with Walker on second down.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line.
6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. The Seahawks in a very solid 4-1 here in the early part of the year. And they've come in on a nice run of recent form. 4 wins out of 5.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up second down. You talk about this Washington defense.
They were terrific last week in the victory over Kansas City.
I don't know what the actual percentages are. I don't know the analytics on when you create 5 turnovers or takeaways in a game. But coaches have always told me, when you create a number that high, your chances of winning probably up over 98%.
Darnold now to throw. Oh, the Commanders are going to get there as he's taken down.
That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up third. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Call it a loss of 4 there on the sack. And speaking of the number 4, it brings up 4th down now.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board.
That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done.
And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. They'll run for the first time here with Brian Robinson.
And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
On 2nd down, another shot for Robinson.
And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here.
A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Well, partner, if the defense isn't going to adjust and they keep giving them those 5, 6, 7-yard runs over and over, they're likely to run it the whole way to the end zone. They'll be more than happy to take the yardage available and save some of their other plays in the playbook for another time.
Oh, his first throw of the game going to be intercepted. Julian Love picks it.
And he'll take this all the way down inside the 40.
The CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
And down inside the 35, he goes to the 32-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. You talk about this Washington defense.
They were terrific last week in the victory over Kansas City.
No matter what coverage was called, they were in the hip pockets of the receivers all game long. I mean, they were running the routes with them. Turned out, they were right there on every single ball thrown and came away with 5 interceptions.
And he's going to run into a brick wall right in the middle of the field, and I don't think he got there. Remember, that was less than a yard. That was not a full yard. That defense, they were having none of it.
Yeah, the surge offensive line was seeking actually occurred on the other side of the ball. They reestablished the line of scrimmage and stuffed them.
They'll run for it. It's Walker. And he will have a 1st down at about the 21-yard line. Give them credit. They knew what they wanted to dial up on 4th. They executed it for 9 yards, and the offense stays out there. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Here's Darnold. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. 2nd quarter now from Seattle, and it is the Seahawks with the football here, as they've got it with a 2nd down and 2 coming up. Straight ahead, Walker. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
And the Seahawks are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. 1st and goal from the 3. Walker will get down close to the goal line, but not in, as he'll be marked down at the 1. Give him 3 on the gain there. 2nd and goal.
It is definitely hard to find space near the goal line. You always want to have a guy in the game running it who can create his own.
Walker once more. And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Ken Walker, his 5th rushing touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks post the first points of the ball game as they take the lead here in this 2nd quarter. Extra point up and through by Myers. And that makes the score 7-0. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. And able to break this out all the way to the 38-yard line. Great return. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others. Where they think they have an advantage, dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
So the completion good for 6 yards, and that'll make it 2nd down. Throwing now is Daniels. This one complete to Mecole Hardman. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. His first catch, good for 16 and a 1st. Hand off to Robinson out of the shotgun. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. It'll go as a loss of 3 on the sack, and it brings up 3rd down.
Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the 1st down and move the chains. Daniels looking to throw.
Throw left side is complete on the diving effort. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Two minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter, 7-0 ball game.
A chance now to get even before the break as they come up 1st and goal.
They'll run with Robinson. And he's in. Touchdown, Commanders. Brian Robinson Jr.
with touchdown number 12 on the year.
And the Commanders are an extra point away now from tying this ball game.
Extra point right down the middle, and we are tied at 7.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway.
And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm willing to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn into a play action, and throw one deep.
On 2nd down, it's Walker. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. They'll come up now 3rd and 9. Darnold. Here's a diving catch right side. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down.
And not all spectacular catches are the result of a pass that maybe was not thrown quite right. Sometimes it's thrown in the perfect spot, and you have to just go get it. And he did that right there.
No fear there in the middle of the field. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. But the converse is, though, you've got to win those one-on-one blocks. And when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
Man in motion left. That's Smith and Jigba. Out of the shotgun. Here's Darnold. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
Well, congratulations to them. They come through defensively with another stop. And let's face it, this secondary, they've gone unchallenged so far in the first half.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Darnold from the gun. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
He's got this to the 30 before being taken down.
Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now Darnold. Open man, that's Noah Fant, the tight end. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Here's Darnold. Forced out to his left. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them out of the end zone as the first half winds down.
Now it's Darnold. And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. It'll go as a loss of 3 on the sack, and it brings up 3rd down. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the 2nd quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. Right hash, 37-yard attempt. And Myers winds up yanking it. This is no good. Wide to the left. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. Set and ready to go for the 2nd half. 1 touchdown apiece, 7-7 our score. And no fireworks to start the half. This will be a touchback. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Well, the first half, very even. I mean, really, in all facets, this ball game tied, Charles. So as we start the 3rd quarter, curious to see what the 2nd half brings us.
Certainly am. I'm with you on that one. And we all know a lot of coaches from the NFL all the way down to the Pee-wee level. They love to spin it to their teams. Hey, we're starting a brand new, shorter ball game. It's all even. Let's go out and seize it. This is ours.
He'll get this complete to Sennett, the tight end. And he's knocked to the turf right there at the 46-yard line. First target, first catch, and a 1st down.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
Hey, check that. Freak.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and cut back to the run.
Anything, because you're right, he's pretty much been completely neutralized. Off the play fake, Daniels. Man open, that's Deebo Samuel. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Big yardage after the catch. That one winds up going for 36.
You just had the feeling that sooner or later someone was going to come up with that one play. Neither team has really done a whole lot offensively, but here's one that pays off to the tune of big yardage, and it's one that could maybe get this group in gear.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that's going to bring up second down. Here's the first carry for Austin Eckler. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be third down. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
To the air goes Daniels. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. Touchdown, Washington. A 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Commanders have taken the lead as they go right down the field and score on the opening drive of the second half. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 14-7. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Well, Charles, you and I said at intermission, feels like we're set up for a good second half. Well, the other side scored, and now it's up to them to answer. How do they respond here with their first drive of the second half?
Well, bottom line is they just saw the ball go in the end zone against their defense, and they saw what good offense looks like. They believe they've got a good offense as well. Run the best plays you've got to the top performers you have, and try and move that ball down the field for an answering score.
Yeah, Darnold's going to change the play. Sticking with Walker on second down. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 51 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance. Reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. Like you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle.
And they'll try the air now with Darnold. Over the middle, finding Smith and Jigba. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line. They'll fake the handoff. Now Darnold sliding out of the pocket. He has it complete to Christian Watson. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Now a 2nd and 2. Now to the ground. Here's Walker. He can muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a 3rd and very short.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. They'll try for the first with Walker. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
Walker now on 1st and 10.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there.
Jeremy Chin there defensively. Here's 2nd and 10. A shotgun snap for Darnold. They're complete to Smith-Njigba. And they're going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 20-yard line.
Back to throw, Darnold. Flushed out right. And it's caught. Touchdown, Seahawks. A 20-yard touchdown.
And the Seahawks are an extra point away from tying this game here in the 4th.
Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And an important one that is, as we are all tied now early in this 4th quarter.
Now this one setting up for a great finish. All tied in the 4th as the kick's away.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. Well, they just gave up the score to tie it. That's the bad news. The good news, plenty of time in this 4th quarter to try to grab that lead back. A throw left side to start out. That's complete.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete. Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
They go play action. Daniels. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
He came through well with a nice pass breakup there. Fortunate that he was on the spot. He's the only guy left to prevent the 1st down.
Tie game, 4th quarter, and they're going for this thing on 4th down. They'll run for it with Eckler. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down.
So he needed 1. He ended up getting 3.
And I really like the way he ran that one, too. That's really intelligent running because oftentimes a running back can get too greedy. Try and hit the home run on a play where you just need a few yards. Well done there, making sure he got the 1st down and not worrying about trying to get a touchdown.
1st down, and they stick with Eckler. Taken down at the 42.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Now Daniels. Throw right side is going to be caught by Samuel.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
No tougher place to be in a spot like this than Seattle. Here's 3rd down. Here's Daniels. Oh, look at this. It's intercepted. Picked off by Patrick Queen.
And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
In a tie game fourth quarter, that's about as big of a defensive play as you can possibly make.
And it didn't happen by accident. That was scouting right there. They've seen things that have happened before. They knew in certain situations the type of plays they'd like to run, read it, and were able to go after the football, get it, and take it into the end zone for a touchdown for themselves.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. McCole Hardman to return it from his end zone. This is 1st and 10. Throwing after the interception, Daniels. And that's going to be incomplete.
Work with me, partner. Take a deep breath, because that's what they're doing down the field now. That incompletion allowed them to exhale a little bit. Get in the huddle, kind of scan the crowd, see if any celebrities are here. Relax a little bit as they start this big drive.
He'll look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. They try to take a shot there on 2nd down, and that leaves them, because of the incompletion, a very tricky 3rd and 10.
And with a time situation, you would expect them to try and get it all in this one play, but there's still enough time that if you can take something shorter, gain some yardage, make it a more manageable 4th down if you need to.
Back to throw. He's got McLaurin, and they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. Now a timeout called for by the offense, as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. They'll look to throw. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. Now 2nd and 4. Back to throw. Caught out left side by Robinson.
Sometimes it's hard to figure, but you can live with incompletions in this situation. You can't live with these short gains that take time off the clock.
You know who loves it? This defense. The noise is getting deafening. Here's 3rd down and 3. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. Now Washington going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts, as he'll get it with just a shade under a minute to go in the game. He's back to throw. Oh, and that's going to sabotage their comeback plans. It is intercepted. Picked up by Trey Brown. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle at the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
It's a gain of 3 there, and that should be just about all she wrote.
My high school football coach was very fond of saying, you've got to meet force with force. And on a short yardage running play, that's what you're going to encounter. And how about them picking up the 1st down on that one?
That was an excellent come-from-behind victory, Charles, especially there in the 4th quarter. Both offense and defense were clicking. They're going to feel good about this one.
Boy, are they ever, because the deficit they faced certainly wasn't small. They obviously did not give up on that one, and in the end, how about that come-from-behind victory? They'll cherish this one for a while.
So for the Seahawks, their strong start to the year continues as they're up to 5-1. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Meanwhile, for the Commanders,
they taste defeat for the first time this season as they drop to 5-1. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So that's a wrap. For Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com.